Hi and hello, Eagles fans, and welcome to this presentation of TCC Softball. We're just about to get underway in game number 2 in this doubleheader between the Eagles and the Northwest Florida State Raiders. That first pitch from Kaylin James is inside to Gabrielle Fischetti, and at 6:02, we are underway right on time for the second leg of this doubleheader. Eagles took game 1, and if you missed it, by a score of 2-1, a thrilling finish, as there is a strike called over the plate, 1-1. The score was 1-1 for most of the game in game 1. It was actually a solo shot by Kaylin James, the pitcher on the circle right now, that broke up a no-hitter and tied the game. And then it was a walk-off. It was an RBI single by, yet again, Kaylin James, as there's a pop-up high in the air. Alison Rodriguez going out, but it will be Aponte in right field to make the grab, and that is the first out of the ball game. That'll be Sydney Stewart. She hit a home run in game 1. And I believe I had erroneously stated that it was Brooke Michael that had scored the winning run during the live call. It was actually Alyssa Wynn that was pinch running for her. So she scored, as you might say, the winning run. There's a strike called to Sydney Stewart. That one fouled quickly out of play behind the press box, and now no balls, 2 strikes to Sydney Stewart. She hit that home run and went 1 for 4 total. The 0-2 pitch. Put on the ground. The shortstop Ortiz has it. Throw to first in time for out number 2. 6-3 on the put out there. 2 outs, bases empty now for the pitcher, Alexis Wadsworth. She was the DP in game 1, went 0 for 2 and got hit by a pitch. And we'll talk about her pitching numbers when she is on the circle in the bottom half of this inning. As a hitter, though, she's .349, 2 home runs, 32 knocked in on the season. Entering this game, Northwest Florida State is 35-9 on the year, 7-4 in Panhandle play. TCC with that walk-off win improved to 22-15 with a 4-9 record in conference play. That is a high fly ball, and into right center field is the center fielder Mackenzie Childs, rather, and that will end the top of the first inning in 1-2-3 order. We'll tell you about the Northwest starter and the Eagles lineup when we come back. You're watching Eagles Softball on tcceagles.com and YouTube. And we're back here at the softball grounds for the bottom half of this first inning. The starter on the circle for the Raiders, Alexis Wadsworth. That first pitch to Mackenzie Childs got her jammed inside, but she sends it in to left field for out number 1. Brooke Michael, the DP in Game 2, steps to the plate. Alexis Wadsworth this season, 13 appearances, 7 total starts. She is 7-1 on the year in over 54 innings of work, a .232 earned run average. She's racked up a total of 34 strikeouts during this season. That first pitch is called a strike to Michael. But Wadsworth didn't do so great her last time out in a 7-1 defeat to Pensacola State on March 30th. 4 2/3, 5 runs on 8 hits. Got a couple of complete games to her name, so probably not someone that would be going 7. Unlike the 2 starters in Game 1 that went the distance, the break-even pitch to Michael is called a strike to move it to 1-2. The lineup for TCC in Game 2, Childs, who you just saw, Brooke Michael, Brittany Michael, and Little, Ortiz, James, and a bottom 3 of Campbell, Patry, and Aponte. They're utilizing the flex position on Elson Rodriguez. So she'll be in the field but not in the batting order. And just like that, Brooke Michael is out on strikes with a called strike number 3. Now it's Brittany Michael. Fantastic pitching performance from her again in Game 1. Went 7 innings, allowing 1 run on 3 hits. Walked 2, struck out 4. She improved to 7-3 on the season. So another complete game victory for her here at the softball grounds on the west side of Tallahassee. 0-1 the count as Wadsworth comes home outside, and the catcher Fischetti diving to go stop it. Wadsworth a lefty compared to the righty Brunson in Game 1, so you're getting a different look at the very least for all your hitters. Even though the Eagles won in Game 1, I mean, they only had 2 hits. One of them was a home run. And that one is going to settle into the glove of the right fielder for the third and final out of the first inning. So both sides go 3 up, 3 down. We're through 1 full scoreless. Top of the second here, it'll be Macy Hardy. She's playing first base. She played first base in Game 1 as well. She went 1 for 3 at the plate. It'll be Hardy, Thompson, and Bellard as I'm finishing scrawling the lineup into my scorebook. It's one of those where You see him warming up on the field. We're about to get lineup cards, and then you blink, and the game's starting right in front of us. So we got to get going. And quick underway. We're moving along. I believe game one was about an hour and 40 minutes, so it was a quick-paced game, and that one is laced into the gap in right center field. Center fielder Child's playing the carom off the wall, and she's safe into second base with a double. A slow developing play. Kind of looked like at first just kind of a lazy single, but then it just kept carrying to the wall, and before you know it, she's standing at second base. She was a player, I believe, when she was at first after that single, they would kind of run her off of first, kick up some dust, try to make a distraction, but not someone, obviously, at first base that they want to steal bags with. But here she is to start the second with an extra base hit. That first pitch to Thompson is in the dirt, so the first extra base hit of game number 2. The defensive alignment for TCC in game 2 stays relatively the same. It's Emma Patry in left, Mackenzie Childs in center, Anishka Ponte out there in right. And the 1-0 pitch swung on and missed. Got her with that changeup or off speed. And then in the infield from third to first, Raven Little at third, Cheche Ortiz at shortstop, Allison Rodriguez at second base. It is Brittany Michael moving from the circle in game 1 to first base to play there. And they make a change at catcher. It's Ellie Campbell. The 1-1 pitch. She reached out to go get that one and sent it foul. So now Layla Thompson has a 1-ball, 2-strike count coming up against her. And that one put on the ground. The chopper, Raven Little has it at third base, and she goes to first for the out. Now they're going to go to third, and they got the double play. So it was Macy Hardy trying to catch the defense napping, going from second to third, but a really heads-up play by Brittany Michael over at first base. So the triple play in rare fashion goes 5 to 3 to 5, I believe. Something you don't see very often, and they erase the leadoff double. So Eagles showing some good signs here early. Nice defensive play, and that one is sent into center field. Mackenzie Childs charging in, and she was probably a step or two away from the infield to make that grab. So after that double play erased the double, they got a fly out of Gracie Bellard, and that will end the top of the second. We are still scoreless here in Tallahassee.
Tallahassee Community College has been named as one of the top 10 community colleges in the nation. The Aspen Institute recognizes institutions from across the country that have exceptional achievements and a total commitment to improving student outcomes. The college was recognized as one of the nation's premier community colleges eligible to compete for the prestigious $1 million Aspen Prize for Community College Excellence because of its focus on student access and success, its workforce training initiatives, a seamless and high transfer rate to four-year colleges and universities, and its many varied and productive community partnerships. This recognition from the Aspen Institute is a testament to the wonderful work of the faculty, staff, and leadership at Tallahassee Community College.
Bottom of the second here. Eagles getting their second crack at things. It'll be Raven Little to start things off. Ortiz and James will follow. At first pitch, misses high. Coming into today, Raven Little, probably the best hitter in this lineup. 315, 9 home runs, 34 batted in, as she pops that one up. The center fielder running over, and that's out of here. Man, did that one have some carry. And just as I was saying, now Raven Little retakes the lead in home runs. She now has 10 double digits and long balls for the third baseman. Eagles lead 1-0. Yeah, that was deceptively well struck. The center fielder, Briley Broussard, was kind of drifting over there, and then all of a sudden you see her stop at the wall, and the ball's over her head. Yeah, Kaylin James tied her with home runs with 9 in game 1, but as I said, Raven Little retakes the team lead. And you like to see that as well because the Eagles are on top as of right now. 1 ball, no strikes to count to Che Ortiz. So the bat for Raven Little continues to stay hot after she completed 2/3 of a double play in the top half of this inning. So she, as we like to say all the time, she does it all for the Eagles. Another pitch into Ortiz is low. Ortiz is actually the best average hitter, just pure numbers. 320 the batting average for her. 3 home runs, 13 knocked in. 15 walks to 19 strikeouts. And now she's got a 3-0 count. Allen missing outside, ball 4, and so now Ortiz will take her base. That was something that we talked about, as now Kaylin James is going to come to the plate. Time called, as the assistant coach is going to come out to have a chat with Wadsworth, and that's kind of leading me into my discussion. Is something that is always interesting to keep an eye on when a pitcher gives up a home run, especially like this early in the game that, breaks a tie, gives up a lead, whatever. How do they respond to that? Are they going to go and strike out 4 in a row or whatever, or are they going to struggle a little bit? And right after you give up a home run, you issue a 4-pitch walk. That's, the scenario in the opposite direction. So one of the assistant coaches for Northwest Florida came out to have a chat, maybe settle her back down, and, this is not going to be an easy task either, with Kaylin James getting her first at-bat of Game 2. James, 313 on the season, 9 home runs on the year. She had both runs batted in, so she's got 30 RBIs right now. Had the solo home run and the walk-off hit. We'll call it a hit. View there. She tried to put a bunt down, and she does. The catcher has it, and the throw to first is in time, but the runner advances, so a successful sac bunt. Not necessarily what you were expecting from her in that situation, but maybe that's exactly why you do it. She has 2 sacrifice hits on the season. So make that number 3, and now they have Ellie Campbell showing bunt as well. Pulls back and fouls it right back against the screen of the backstop. So 2-3 goes the sacrifice to move Ortiz over to second base, and they get a runner in scoring position for the first time today. Ellie Campbell this season, limited action as the backup catcher. She's only appeared in 21 games. 52 at-bats, 250 the average, no home runs, 6 driven in. And that one is going to go foul of the third base line. It was out of the diving reach of Layla Thompson, and that would have brought the run home, but it was just a little bit foul of that left field line. That one missing low and away, so evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes, and that was something that we talked a lot about in Game 1, was the Eagles' approach against then Raiders starter Allison Brunson, and definitely the first time through the order, you could tell that they were coming up intentionally trying to take a lot of pitches, and Brunson was able to settle down and throw a lot of strikes as the ball gets away from the catcher, and Ortiz is going to get down to third with only 1 out. So you put the sacrifice fly play on potentially with a full count upcoming on a ball that got away from Fischetti, but call it a wild pitch. We saw one of those in Game 1 as well. Ellie Campbell has 2 sacrifice flies on the year. That one fouled back again, so she's looking at the very least for number 3 right here with only 1 out. Emma Patry is on deck. So the bottom of the order is where we're at with a runner at third base and Che Ortiz. And that's what you like to see. You work a 4-pitch walk, you take advantage of it. As that one is going to be into the diving grab with a shortstop. And she is out on a really close play, but the run scores. So call it a run batted in for Ellie Campbell on what will go down as a 6-3 putout. An absolutely astonishing play by their shortstop, Cassidy Hood. Now it'll be Emma Patry at the plate. Base is empty now, 2 outs after the run comes across. So that was my point. You get a 4-pitch walk. Okay, now make them go pay for it, and they do it in really interesting fashion. They get, they bunt her over to second. She gets to third on a wild pitch, and you drive her in on a ground out. And whatever it takes to scratch runs across against a team in Northwest that does a really good job of preventing runs. The pitcher on the mound's got an ERA of about 2.5. Those are the kind of plays that it's going to take, and that's what they always say: put the ball in play, and good things will happen. And that's so far been the case. 2 balls, no strikes to Patry. Puts a big swing on it, but it's foul. Two balls and 1 strike. Foul towards the same spot, and now it's 2-2. And a much different script from what we saw in Game 1 as well, where it was a kind of a pitcher's duel, and Northwest held the lead there 1-0 for a couple of innings, and we were thinking, oh, is Brunson looking at a no-hit bid, and then the Eagles were able to scratch it out late. Now here the Eagles take an early 2-0 lead, and it'll be up to Kaylin James to try and stay on top of it, as there's a called strike 3 to Emma Patry, and that will end the inning, but the Eagles, as we mentioned, put up 2 runs on the board. It was a solo home run from Raven Little, her 10th of the season, to get it started, and then Che Ortiz, after a walk, made it all the way around the bases. So after 2 full, Eagles lead by 2.
Community College presents Rock the Roost, starring Luke Bryan.
Yeah, that's my kind of night.
Luke Bryan. It goes live Saturday, July 23rd on campus at TCC with special guest
There was this girl,
Riley Green.
drink in her hand, shoot me a let's get into trouble grand.
Tickets are on sale now at rocktheroosttcc.com. Luke Bryan, live, produced by Tallahassee Community College and Adams Entertainment.
At first pitch is high to Briley Broussard. Briley went 0 for 2. A sac bunt, a walk. So she was awfully busy. We're at that point of the day where that sun is starting to make its descent, and it's in its blinding view of everyone who's facing it. I do wonder what it's like to be a hitter down there. That sun kind of right in your face. 3-0 the count to Broussard. And now Kaylin James is in jeopardy of issuing a 4-pitch walk herself after we saw one to Ortiz in the previous half inning. Bottom of the order, it's Broussard, Gary, and Fogg that will appear, as she was taken all the way on that one, but James got called for a strike. And that one into the reach of the first baseman, Brittany Michael, and she spins around and runs over to base to step on it for out number 1. 3 unassisted goes the put out there to begin the 3rd inning. First pitch high and away to Destiny Gary. Did not see her appear in game 1. On the season, she's batting .236 in 32 games. 1 home run, 16 batted in. That one misses high and away, a little bit worse, 2-0. So the balls to strike ratio right now, not exactly where you want it to be. Control has been a bit of an issue for James. I mean, you look at consistently 2 or 3 walks in just about every start. There's a wave and a miss by Gary there. Her strikeout numbers have not been absorbent as of late either. She had a 2-inning appearance her last time at Chipola. She walked 1 and struck out 3 in that outing. 3-1 to Gary now. Gary was about to take off for first, and the home plate umpire says, not quite yet. Not so fast, my friend, in the words of Lee Corso. Count goes full here. And the payoff pitch. And that one is going to be just a hair outside. That would have been pretty comical to have the home plate umpire call her back again, but it was not in the cards. First walk of the day issued by James. Went out base runner for the 9-hitter, Ashley Fogg. We did not see her appear in game 1 either. She's hitting .300 on the year and only 10 at-bats. She's appeared in 10 games. She has 10 at-bats. So I don't know if that's, 1 at-bat per game, the way she's been used. High and away for ball 1. 1 run batted in, no home runs. So we're 44 games into the season. She's getting her 11th at bat. That one fouled back to the screen. Runner goes. Throw down a second, and it'll not nearly be in time. And so in that cloud of dirt, Destiny Gary is going to be safe with a stolen base. That is the 9th bag that Gary has swiped this season. And looking at their numbers, they like to steal a lot. I mean, I'm seeing basically 4 players that are at 20 stolen bases or more. As that one has popped up, will it stay in play? It does, and into the glove of Ellie Campbell for out number 2. So you get the 9-hitter Fogg there. In her at bat, you do get the run over to second on the stolen base, but now as the lineup turns to the top, and the number 1 hitter, Gabrielle Fischetti, she's the catcher, catching both games today, which is always something that we keep an eye on as well. The Eagles not deploying that same strategy. They always go with Brooke Michael in game 1 and Ellie Campbell in game 2. as that one she's underneath as well, but it's not going to stay in play. First time through the order for the Raiders, a double, a walk, and that's about it. So James has been fairly effective so far. She's pitching with the lead. That one outside. Ellie Campbell kept it in front. And that one chopped to the third baseman, Little. And that play is good for out number 3. So they get a walk and steal second base, but can't bring the run across. And headed to the bottom of the third, you're watching Eagles softball on tcceagles.com. Last hitter in the order, getting the first at bat of the game, the 9-hole, Anishka Ponte. Will start things off at the bottom of the third. Puts the bunt down, but it goes foul. Ponte went 0 for 2 in game 1 with a strikeout, grounded out to third base. Righty on lefty matchup here. Julia Petty, the pitcher who's warming up in game 1, she's active in the bullpen as we speak. So at some point, you'd imagine the Raiders are going to make the move. And this is William Haynes bringing you the action here on this Tuesday doubleheader between the Eagles and the Northwest Florida Raiders. Great win in game 1, 2-1 walk-off. And that one gets past the dive of the third baseman, and that's a leadoff single for Anishka Ponte, her first hit of the day. Layla Thompson has been active over there at third base. There's been a lot of plays over there. Not able to corral that one. And the Eagles get a leadoff base runner. Now the lineup turns back over to the top in Mackenzie Childs. Childs flat to center in her first trip to the plate. That one fouled back just over the screen. Ponte is 16 for 18 in stolen base attempts this year. You got to think that they're going to put that play on at some point, and they do. Runner goes, pitch high, throw down a second, and I don't know if she kept it in the glove the whole time. They're going to say she did. I thought there might have been some bit of a bobble, but Anishka Ponte caught stealing for only the third time this year. She's now 16 for 19. So caught stealing erases the leadoff single. 1 out, nobody on for Mackenzie Childs, who's got a 1-ball, 1-strike count to her. That one is called a strike. Fouled back as well, and a nice job by Brooke Michael to catch it off the screen while she's doing some warm-up swings on the on-deck circle. And that one is rolled foul down the other side. A lot of action in the baseball world going on right now here in Tallahassee. The Seminoles are hosting the Gators. In about 20 minutes, that game's going to get underway. And then, of course, on the Major League side of things, we just got through the opening weekend as there's strike three called to Mackenzie Childs, so that's out number 2 of the inning. My Tampa Bay Rays set to take on the Oakland A's down in St. Petersburg. Intermatter moments. They got it taken to them last night. I believe 13-2 the final score. Michael struck out looking in the first. Takes that first pitch low and away. You could tell Fischetti was trying to sell it, but couldn't quite. That one fell out of play. The break even on 1-1 bounced in the dirt. Wadsworth has yet to walk anybody. She's got 3 strikeouts on the day. Here's another 1-1 pitch, and that one is lined right to the shortstop, Cassidy Hood, and that will bring an end to the bottom of this third inning. Eagles got a leadoff single by Aponte, but she was caught stealing, and so at the end of 3, Eagles still holding on to that 2-0 advantage.
Tallahassee Community College has been named as one of the top 10 community colleges in the nation. The Aspen Institute recognizes institutions from across the country that have exceptional achievements and a total commitment to improving student outcomes. The college was recognized as one of the nation's premier community colleges eligible to compete for the prestigious $1 million Aspen Prize for Community College Excellence because of its focus on student access and success, its workforce training initiatives, a seamless and high transfer rate to four-year colleges and universities, and its many varied and productive community partnerships. This recognition from the Aspen Institute is a testament to the wonderful work of the faculty, staff, and leadership at Tallahassee Community College.
First pitch to Sydney Stewart is outside to begin the 4th inning. Sun now at the point where it's kind of most debilitating, I would say. Although, a couple of innings I might change my mind. That one drops in for a strike. Kaylin James out for inning number 4 of work. She's still looking for her first strikeout. And that one caught by the shortstop, Cheche Ortiz, for out number 1. That's how the last half inning ended, and that's how this half inning begins. Alexis Wadsworth, 0 for 1 with a fly out to center field. that one in the dirt, and it's 1-0 to Wadsworth. Got that pitch called for a strike, and it's 1-2. That one missing, and now 2 balls and 2 strikes. And a swing and a miss for Kaylin James' first strikeout of the game. Out number 2 of the 4th. No. 2 balls, 2 strikes. I guess I got ahead of myself again. And there you go. That was that one was a foul tip into the glove of Campbell. So I guess you could call me a time traveler. Ended up being correct either way. So the call still stands. 2 out spaces empty now for Macy Hardy. First pitch called a strike. Hardy rocking more like the sleeveless kind of look with the sleeves rolled up. And that one is going to be into the glove of the shortstop Ortiz. Throw to first, picked out of the dirt by Michael, and that's out number 3. So 3 up, 3 down go the Raiders in the top of the 4th, and now maybe Kaylin James finding a groove. She's pitching a shutout right now through 4. Eagles still lead 2-0. Brittany Michael steps into the right-handed batter's box, and that will begin the bottom of this 4th inning. That's called for strike 1. So right now, Wadsworth is doing a good job of getting that bottom half of the strike zone called. I mean, granted, Kaylin James has been able to get some of those as well, so it's consistent. But that low part of the zone is maybe something these pitchers are going to try and take advantage of. It is still Julia Petty getting loose in that Raider bullpen. That 0-2 pitch bounced in the dirt. That one fouled right off. So count will stay where it is. Little is on deck. She's looking for an encore to that home run in her first at-bat. Like to get maybe a runner on for her. We'll see. Michael flew out to right in her only time today. And that one chopped on the ground. The third baseman, Thompson, has it. And a throw to first to retire Michael for the first out. Put out goes 5-3. And now it will be Raven Little. Has Wrecking Ball as her walk-up song, and never has it been more true that she is coming in like a wrecking ball when she steps up to the plate. It's that breaking ball in there for strike one. We saw Brunson do that a ton in game one as well, so I'm wondering if that's one of those things that they like to use with their pitchers. It's a pitch that kind of buckles a lot of these hitters. You don't quite know what to do with it. Two balls and one strike after she takes that pitch. I think they appealed down to the field umpire about a swing, but no harm and no foul. That one bounced in the dirt, and it's 3-1. Full count pitch upcoming. And it's high, ball 4. Raven Little walks. Second walk of the day issued by Wadsworth for what it's worth. Little taking that large lead off of first on the pitch, but I don't know that they're going to send her at this particular moment. Ortiz walked and her only trip, and that one put on the ground. The second baseman charging in, tried to tag Little. The throw to first is in time, but they did not get Little out on the bases. When Stewart came in to corral it, she kind of tried to stick the glove out there, and it looked like maybe she did, maybe she didn't, and they ultimately say she did not. And so on a 4-3 ground out for Ortiz, she does move the runner over into scoring position for Kaylin James. She's got a sacrifice bunt herself. We'll be looking to swing away right here. Put a big swing on that one, but lined right into the glove of the right fielder, Gary, and that will end the 4th inning. After the Eagles put up 2 in the second, we have not seen much since. Kaylin James will be back out to continue twirling her gem of a game. You're watching Eagle Softball on TCCEagles.com.
Community College presents Rock the Roost, starring Luke Bryan.
Yeah, that's my kind of night.
Luke Bryan. It goes live Saturday, July 23rd on campus at TCC with special guest
There was this girl,
Riley Green.
drink in her hand. Shoot me a let's get into trouble grin.
Tickets are on sale now at rocktheroosttcc.com. Luke Bryan, live, produced by Tallahassee Community College and Adams Entertainment.
As we move on now to the 5th inning, it's Layla Thompson getting her second at bat. She grounded into that ever rare 5-3-5 double play where they got the runner from second trying to get over to third. Big swing and miss there. And it's 1-1. High and away for ball 2. On the ground, second baseman Rodriguez has it. Short toss to first for the out. So Galen James, when the ball is put into play against her, has done a good job of making sure it's some weak contact. Gracie Bellard at the plate. Right now, that one is called a strike on the inside part. She flew out to center in early time. That one was a play where Mackenzie Childs ran all the way almost into the infield. And she's been showing off her range today. Moving to her right, to her left, coming in, going back out. And that one is going to send her out to the wall, and she's going to watch it fly. Solo home run for Gracie Bellard. Cuts the Eagles' lead in half. It's 2-1. That was her first home run of the year, her 21st run batted in. And her first home run comes at a pretty big time as well. Somewhat of a pennant race, if you will, for first place in the Panhandle between Chipola and Northwest. Chipola came into today 9-3. Northwest is now 7-4, and it's getting late as far as the season is concerned. We've got a couple of double headers remaining. The Tallahassee side of things, as you look at their conclusion of their schedule, they've got a Wednesday trip to Gulf Coast, and they'll come home on the 23rd for sophomore night against Pensacola State, and that's it. They've got 4 more games of the season after today. 3 balls, no strikes to count to Broussard at the plate. Assistant coach for Tallahassee is going to come out to talk to James, and it was the exact same thing that we talked about in the second where Raven Little hit a home run, and it was a 4-pitch walk to Chechi Ortiz. Kaylin James is a pitch away from doing the same thing. But she's still in front. Will this be another game where Brittany Michael comes out of the bullpen? That would be a sight to be seen. Sydney Ray, obviously a part of the fold as well. She would be, of course, the only other candidate that would be coming into the game. They have basically 8 days off, or 8 days between games, because after today they don't play until next Wednesday, so it's not a concern about how you're using your pitchers, as there is a strike called on 3-0. She climbed the ladder for that high pitch. Would have been ball 4, but instead it's a full count. That one fouled back once more. So she's keeping it alive at 3-2. Don't know exactly the pitch count would be a concern for James. If you take her out, it's because the margin is so razor thin, and we're completing our second time through the lineup, or the Raiders are, as I should say. It's a 7-hitter at the plate right now. That one chopped on the ground, but it will not stay fair. Bottom of the order coming up for TCC in the bottom half of the 5th as well. Will they be hitting in front or from behind? We'll wait and see. That one on the ground. A-Rod has it, and that was a close play, but they're going to say she's out. Two outs, base is empty. Now for the 8-hitter, Destiny Gary walked and stole a bag in her only plate appearance of today, not just of game 2, but she didn't appear in game 1. Swing and a miss there for strike 1 to begin the at-bat. Off the plate and low, evens it at 1-1. Another swing and a miss. Through 4 2/3, James has only 1 strikeout, but seems to be getting some swing and miss out of Destiny Gary here. Leans in for the sign. She's got it. Now comes home, and that one fouled back out of play. That one missing away, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. That one gets away from Campbell a little bit, but there's nobody on, so it doesn't matter. It's 3-2 at this point. And that's high and inside for ball 4. And that is the second walk issued by Kaylin James. Now the 9-hitter in the DP, Ashley Falk, comes up, popped it high up in the air. It was caught by Campbell in the 3rd. And that one, kind of the same result in the air, but Mackenzie Childs comes in. Mixed catch for out number 3. So James allows a home run, walks a batter as well. But by the time all is said and done, the Eagles still lead 2-1. Bottom of the order, in the bottom of the fifth, it's Ellie Campbell. Swings and sends one right back. It'll be Campbell, Patry, Aponte. As now all of a sudden, it's only a one-run lead after the home run from Gracie Ballard, her first of the season. High and inside for ball one. Maybe another half inning or two, and that sun will settle in behind the trees. I know it affects the sight lines for the fans and obviously carries over to the broadcast as well. So we're in that weird in between. Most of the field is covered in shadows with a few spots here and there of sun that are left. And a swing and a miss. She tried to get that high fastball, but instead it's 2-2. Low and away, and we have got ourselves a full count. Just got a piece of it to keep the at-bat alive. And that's low ball four, and Ellie Campbell has worked a base on balls. Third walk issued from Alexis Wadsworth. And they are finally going to come out and make that change. It will be to Julia Petrie. We'll tell you about the new Raiders pitcher when we come back. The new pitcher for Northwest Florida is Julia Petty. The right-hander has appeared in 19 games, started 12, so more often than not she's starting rather than coming out of the bullpen. We've mentioned she was warming up early in Game 1. She's been warming up here in Game 2, and she's finally going to get into the game. She has a 10-4 record and just about 61 innings of work, an ERA of 3.69, 63 strikeouts. Her last appearance was on March 30th against Pensacola State. She went 2 1/3. Giving up a run on 2 hits. or rather 2 runs on 1 hit, I should say. Third baseman Thompson was charging in as Emma Patry showed bunt, but pulled back for ball 1. The line for Alexis Wadsworth, and she's in line for the loss. 4+ innings of work, 2 runs on 2 hits. That one is high again. 3 walks and 3 strikeouts. Score 2-1 where we are now. She is responsible for that. Showed bunt, and I think she kept it through, but didn't kind of stick it up there. Obviously, Petty expecting the bunt is, just going to pitch her high. That one goes foul, and now at 3-2, that takes the bunt most likely out of consideration. Patry, in her only at bat in this game, struck out looking in game number 1. She went 0 for 2 with a strikeout as well. This is someone that they usually utilize the flex position with, where you can have them in the lineup but not hit, but they decided to have her in the 8 spot in the lineup for both games, and that will bring the count full this time. So it was 3-1. Or maybe it was, I don't know, but it's full now. And that one's fouled away. Petty's going to go down to adjust the shoelace. So maybe you can't get the bunt down, but if you walk, you move the runner over either way. But it will not be. It's a swinging strikeout for Patry, her second punch out of the day, and that's out number 1 of the inning. Aneshka Ponte now to the plate. She's singled, so I think they're going to let her swing the bat here, especially with 1 out. With Ellie Campbell. No, they decided to pinch run for her. Did they? Yes, they did. It is Alyssa Wynn over there at first base running for Campbell. I did miss that in game 1. Alyssa Wynn did score the winning run. Swinging away there, and it's strike 2. Nothing into the count to Aponte, and fouled back. Petty with that traditional winding up, throw in motion, slings it in there. The lights just got turned on here at the softball grounds, so they'll start to warm up and take effect at some point as the sun continues to go down. Now the entire field is covered in shadow, and that one is lifted up, but it didn't get down quite in time, as that is going to be out number 2. Campbell, or I should say Wynn, running for Campbell, gets back to first. More of a line out to center than a fly out. A humpback liner, as Dave Wills likes to say. And now the lineup returns to the top for a 3rd time through. Mackenzie Childs today 0 for 2 with a strikeout looking. First time she's getting a crack at Julia Petty, though, and fouls that one back. foul down the left side again. Now, she's quickly down 0-2, so Petty has done a good job of that, getting ahead of hitters often and early. That one is low and away. And she got a piece of it again to stay alive. And wouldn't you know, another foul ball. That one does stay in play. The third baseman, Thompson, goes to first for the out, and that will end the inning. A leadoff walk prompts a Raider pitching change. Wadsworth comes out, Petty comes in, but through 5 now, the score is still 2-1, and if you're counting outs, Kaylin James comes back on the circle. Eagles have 6 more to get.
Tallahassee Community College has been named as one of the top 10 community colleges in the nation. The Aspen Institute recognizes institutions from across the country that have exceptional achievements and a total commitment to improving student outcomes. The college was recognized as one of the nation's premier community colleges eligible to compete for the prestigious $1 million Aspen Prize for Community College Excellence because of its focus on student access and success, its workforce training initiatives, a seamless and high transfer rate to four-year colleges and universities, and its many varied and productive community partnerships. This recognition from the Aspen Institute is a testament to the wonderful work of the faculty, staff, and leadership at Tallahassee Community College.
Northwest Florida goes back to the top of their order. It'll be Gabrielle Fischetti to lead things off. She's 0 for 2. First pitch from James is low and in. Misses for ball 1. Swinging away, that one launched high in the air. Childs goes back against the wall, and that's out of here. Gabrielle Fischetti goes yard, and now we are knotted up at 2. That was home run number 10 for Fischetti, RBI number 40. So she leads the team in home runs, leads the team in runs knocked in, and she has now tied this game up. Infield comes in. Maybe some words of encouragement for Kaylin James, also how they're going to attack the next couple of hitters. Sydney Stewart is 0 for 2, but she had a home run in game 1, and wouldn't you know, all 3 runs Northwest has scored today are all on solo home runs. I guess if you're going to pick one thing to be positive about, there was nobody on base for any of those. If there was in any of those instances, we'd be in bad shape. That one got called for a strikeout on the inside part to Stewart. That one missing high. Now 2 balls and a strike. That'll be the Michael twins and Raven Little to bat in the Eagles' 6th. As we now have a whole new ball game. The Raiders have gone to the pen. Eagles, as of now, are going to stick with James. You would imagine that if someone's going to come in, it would be Sidney Ray, and that one is popped up. Aponte is running out, and drifting behind her makes the grab for out number 1. So another fly ball that had trouble retina all over it. But that one stays in the yard, and they're able to catch it for the out. Now it will be Alexis Wadsworth. No, it will not be, because she was pulled out of the game. It's now going to be that one is called a strike. It'll be the new pitcher, Julia Petty. Petty this season, 267 at the plate. No home runs, 1 knocked in. And that one into the leaping grab of Raven Little, and there's out number 2. She's good for one of those. Seems like almost every game. Taking a hit off the board. It'll now be Macy Hardy. She hit a double in the 2nd inning, but she was doubled off trying to get to 3rd on a ground ball. And that one popped in the air, but it will not stay in play. Brittany Michael and Ellie Campbell running over to try and get it, but there was nothing doing. The 1-1 pitch misses high. Another one high, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike. 3 balls and a strike. And she will end up working her walk, as Kaylin James just could not get that pitch probably where she wanted it to be. 3rd walk she's issued today, and that will keep this 6th inning going with 2 outs. It'll now be Layla Thompson. She's 0 for 2. They're going to pinch run for Hardy. And it will be Emma Langston that runs 4. Langston this season 1 for 2 in stolen base attempts. That one misses high, so James trying to find the strike zone, but having some difficulty as of recently. 2-0 now. And that one lashed on the third base side. Throw to first from her knees, and she got her. Wow, Raven Little dives to make the play and makes the throw all the way across the diamond from her knees for the third and final out of the sixth inning. However, on a Gabrielle Fischetti solo home run, Northwest Florida has tied the game. Bottom of the sixth coming up as the Eagles try and retake the lead. Julia Petty back out, and she'll probably finish this game out. Brooke Michael at the plate 0 for 2. Struck out looking, lined out to short. Puts that one in the air, but foul. And finally, I think we are free from the blinding sun. As the lights are now warmed up, and they'll continue to slowly take effect down on the field. That one away from Michael. That one popped up. Left fielder Bellard comes in, and it'll actually be the shortstop Hood to make the catch in the outfield grass for out number 1. Brittany Michael, now the first baseman, comes to the plate. She as well is 0 for 2. Fly out to right, ground out to third. Strike called there. Got that high pitch iron inside, but fouled that one out of play. Ball and 2 strikes. Raven Little on deck. Would love to get someone on in front of her, but with the way she's hitting, you may not need it. We are locked up 2-2 right now in the bottom of the 6th. So hopefully, the Eagles go 2 for 1. They get to bat twice and have to pitch only once. And that one is going to get past the diving grasp of multiple Raiders, and it'll get through for a hit. So they do get a runner on for Raven Little with only 1 out. a base hit for Brittany Michael. And that's her first hit all day. She was 0 for 3 in game 1, and now she's 1 for 6 on the day as a whole. Raven Little has the home run. She walked in her other plate appearance. I wonder if they're going to be careful with her in this instance. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Not that this is a situation where you would want to do this, but Brittany Michael is 3 for 3 in stolen base attempts this season. A strike called, and now quickly 0-2. Ortiz on deck. She's looking for her first hit today as well. 0-2 from Petty. That one's fouled back. Got a piece of it to stay alive. And a swing and miss for strike 3. That was not Raven Little's finest at bat, but good job by Julia Petty to get her out. And 2 outs and a runner on. Now for Cheche Ortiz. She's 0 for 1 in game 2 with a walk. And in game 1, she was 0 for 3, had a sac bunt, though. In the 7th inning, that moved the runners over and allowed that walk-off run that Alyssa Wynn scored, driven in by Kaylin James. First pitch to Ortiz, called a strike. Big swing and a miss there for strike 2. And maybe Julia Petty's heating up. Eagles can't touch her right now. That one outside and maybe a tad high and keep that bat alive at 1-2. Kaylin James is on deck. And a called strike 3. She's been punched out looking a couple of times today, and so TCC gets a 1-out hit but can't do anything with it. We're through 6 full now, and we're all tied up 2 apiece.
Community College presents Rock the Roost, starring Luke Bryan.
Yeah, that's my kind of night.
Luke Bryan. It goes live Saturday, July 23rd on campus at TCC with special guest
There was this girl,
Riley Green.
drink in her hand. Shoot me a let's get into trouble grin.
Tickets are on sale now at rocktheroosttcc.com. Luke Bryan, live, produced by Tallahassee Community College and Adams Entertainment.
And we said it so confidently that if they were going to make a move from Caitlin James and you had the idea that they might have, that it was kind of a shoo-in that it was going to be Sydney Ray, but no. It's Brittany Michael coming out of the pen once again in a game following a start in which she went the entire way. This is not a save situation. She'd be in line for a win potentially if it was to work out that way. The 0-2 pitch fouled, backing out of play. Caitlin James finishes with 6 innings of work, allowed 3 hits, 2 runs. Walked 3 and struck out only 1. And a swing and miss. That actually was a foul tip by Gracie Beller to begin the 7th, and she is out on strikes. Briley Broussardo for 2, couple of ground outs. Kind of moved out of the way of that one, but it was called a strike anyway. Did her kind of charge up, lead into the ball. A strike called on 1-1. Now it's potentially taken Briley Broussard to the brink. And reached out and tabbed that one foul to keep the at-bat moving. If you missed it, Brittany Michael in game 1 of this doubleheader, 7 innings, 1 run allowed on 3 hits, 2 walks and 4 strikeouts, and she's back for more. Hopefully just 1 more inning of work. And that one fouled again. That one passed the diving grasp of Raven Little. Ortiz got to it and tried to make the throw, but it was not in time. So Briley Broussard, the center fielder, legging out an infield single. And you, as you would be inclined to think, center fielder, are they going to try and swipe it back here? Briley Broussard is 19 for 20 in stolen base attempts this year. Big swing and a miss from Destiny Gary, the right fielder. She is 0 for 0 because she's worked walks in both of her plate appearances today. That pitch high, runner goes, throw down to Ortiz. And they got her! Wow! So she was 19 for 20 in stolen base attempts. Now call it 19 for 21. And they get Broussard off the bases. One ball and 1 strike. That pitch missing low, and it's 2-1. Eagles picked a runner off at first base in game 1. As there's a ugly swing and a miss to make it 2 balls and 2 strikes. So a lot of action on the bases today. And they didn't get a particularly good break on that, so it was in the nick of time for sure. That one is lifted foul, back out of play. Comebacker gets past Brittany Michael. A-Rod comes in and can't get the throw in time. James did a great job of stretching all the way out as far as she could to try and get that ball and keep the foot on the bag, but it was not in time. So another infield hit, this time for Destiny Gary, who's reached base all 3 times. And so now it'll be the 9-hitter Ashley Fogg. It will not be because they're going to pinch it for Riley Gibson. She's .316 this year. 3 home runs, 21 batted in. Stoppage of play as the umpire is performing some clerical work, and we're ready to get back underway. I think Gibson pulled out a scouting report card or something of the like. She had 3 at-bats against Brittany Michael in game 1. She reached base via an error, but with that being said, she was 0 for 3. Swing and a miss there for strike 1. Break-even pitch, another wave and a miss. And now 1 ball, 2 strikes to Riley Gibson. That one out of play. And a swing and a miss on the pitch in the dirt, and that is going to end the inning. So the Eagles call on Brittany Michael again out of the bullpen after a start in game 1. They get the speedy Briley Broussard on base, but she's caught stealing. And so, just like in game 1, we head to the bottom of the 7th with a chance for the Eagles to walk it off. Make sure you stay with us. Don't miss it.
Tallahassee Community College has been named as one of the top 10 community colleges in the nation. The Aspen Institute recognizes institutions from across the country that have exceptional achievements and a total commitment to improving student outcomes. The college was recognized as one of the nation's premier community colleges eligible to compete for the prestigious $1 million Aspen Prize for Community College Excellence because of its focus on student access and success, its workforce training initiatives, a seamless and high transfer rate to 4-year colleges and universities, and its many varied and productive community partnerships. This recognition from the Aspen Institute is a testament to the wonderful work of the faculty, staff, and leadership at Tallahassee Community College.
And as we said, just like game one, carbon copy, chance to walk it off, and who else but Kaylin James to come to the plate because she had the game-winning hit in game one. Julia Petty back out. It'll be James Campbell Patry, barring any pinch hit substitutions. Swung through that one, and now it's quickly 0-2. Patient take there to watch it go outside. Keep it the at-bat alive. James in this game is 0 for 2, laid down a sac bunt, which I actually believe does not count as an at-bat, so you say 0 for 1 with the sac bunt. It was a liner to right, and got a piece of that one. And a swing and a miss, and Kaylin James is out on strikes. We talked about this in game one where it was the Raiders in the 7th inning at the bottom of their order. The Eagles were at the top of theirs, so you knew that that was their chance to break through. You know, the odds were in your favor, and they had second and third with 2 outs, and they were able to get the runner home. Well, here, you've got the bottom of your order, and then the Raiders have the top of theirs if it gets to an 8th inning. But then presumably in the bottom of the 8th, you would have the top of yours. So a multitude of ways this could shake out. And a swing and a miss there, quickly 0-2, and a couple of tough at-bats. Julia Petty has come into this game and seemed like almost striking everybody out. She's already got 4 punch-outs, and now the beginning of her 3rd inning of work. And they got her there as well. Actually 4 straight strikeouts for Petty dating back to the 6th inning, and now 2 at spaces empty. It will be Tristan Knowles as they make a pinch hit substitution. Her first at bat today. Knowles on the season. She's appeared in 19 games, 47 at bats. She's batting .170 right now. 1 home run, 3 runs batted in, 2 walks, compared to 15 strikeouts. Now and fouled back to the screen for strike 1. That's the thing too, it seems like every at bat that Julia Petty's involved in, she's starting hitters out 0-1 just about every time out, and it's going to get tough for you to get runners on and bring them in if you're already behind in that hole, and a lot of 0-2 counts that follow as well. Here's the 0-1, and it's high. Old school of thought is, you know, that the first pitch of the at-bat is the most important as far as, you know, statistically where it's driving the at-bat. But recent numbers have said it's the 1-1 pitch, which is right here, which is swung on and missed. If you go up 2-1, obviously much more likely to reach base in that at-bat compared to if you go to 1-2. And so a swing and a miss there does send it to 1-2. And Well, it's tied. The Eagles are down to the final strike of the inning. Try and walk this thing off in the 7th. And she's going to watch it go by. 4 strike 3, and we will be headed to extras. We're through 7. Regulation was not enough to decide a winner, so stay with us for the exciting conclusion of Game 2. There's no extra inning runner for extra innings, if you were curious. So they're going to play it straight up. Gabrielle Fischetti, she is 1 for 3 with a solo home run in her last at-bat. So Brittany Michael stays on for inning number 2 of relief. Gets a strike on 2-0, the get me over strike, as it were. The 1-2-3 hitters for Northwest here: Fischetti, Stewart, and Julia Petty, who replaced Wadsworth. And then the Eagles will have the 9-1-2 hitters in the bottom of this 8th. That one jammed, popped up. First baseman James running over, but could not get it. And so that was the change, by the way. It was Brittany Michael moving off first base into the circle, and Caitlin James moving from the circle over to first base. So a convenient switch. And that one pushed foul down the opposite way. It's impressive for Fischetti to catch both games of doubleheaders, also hit at the top of the order. It's a player that Northwest depends on quite a bit. She's in here in the top of the 8th trying to prevent a doubleheader sweep. And that one off the glove of Brittany Michael. Ortiz gets to it, but not before Gabrielle Fischetti, the catcher, legs out the infield hit. So lead-off single for her. And now that will bring up Sydney Stewart, 0 for 3 in Game 2, but in our minds, obviously, still that home run, which was the first run scored of the day. That one is a called strike to begin the at-bat. That one popped in the air. James running out near foul territory, and it's out of her glove. So call that an E3 on the foul out that was not able to be made and keeps this at bat alive. That one chopped foul back. So it still has her at 0-2. Trying to get that final strike past her. Both teams today have done a really good job of protecting with 2 strikes. Sure, some strikeouts in there, but a lot of lengthy at-bats, including some foul balls throughout both of these games. And that one stays in the glove of Michael. They go to second for the first out, and that's all they're going to get. So it was Brittany Michael did a good job of keeping it in the glove that time, as we said, and went over to the shortstop, Ortiz, who was covering the second base bag. Didn't even think about a throw over to first because Stewart, the second baseman, had legged it out. So they get the lead runner on a fielder's choice. Again, out goes 1-6. First pitch to Julia Petty is called a strike. So Sydney Stewart this year is 23 for 24 in stolen base attempts. And her runner's crouch doesn't go there as they get the second strike against Petty. And as we said, Petty is not, the greatest of hitters. Limited action, yes. 15 at-bats on the entire season, but a 267 average, so not experienced. This is not someone that they typically have pitch. It was just the way the lineup was created today, as there's a swing and a miss for strike 3. So they get the out there that they desperately needed. And so with 2 outs and Stewart at first, it's Macy Hardy. She's 1 for 2 with a double and a walk. Game 1, she was 1 for 3. So she's having herself a day in the cleanup spot, playing first base. Takes that first pitch for a strike. Can't say enough about the job Brittany Michael has done today on the circle. She was coming off of a National Pitcher of the Week honor. And here she's putting together a similar performance to the one that we saw a couple of weeks ago in this VRE complex against Gulf Coast State. Runner goes, throw down a second, and they're not going to get her. So Stewart now moves to 24 of 25 on the year in stolen bases. Obviously, when you have up and down your lineup players that are that effective at swiping bags, you're not going to get them all. And, there's a reason why she is now 24 of 25. But the good news is you've got a 0-2 count to Hardy, who's at the plate with 2 outs. So just finish the job here, and you won't have to worry about the runner at second base. That one missing high. And that's the thing too, is that you force them to that late in the inning to swipe the bag. By the time that she did, it was already 2 strikes with 2 outs. Here's the 1-2. And that's outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And that one rolled along third a little. Low throw to first. James did a good job of bringing it into the glove. So it was a leadoff single. They ended up getting the lead runner out. Runner steals second with 2 outs, but they can't bring her home. So as we get to the bottom of the 8th, it'll be the 9-1-2 hitters for another chance at an Eagle walk-off. You're watching Eagle softball on tcceagles.com.
Community College presents Rock the Roost, starring Luke Bryan.
Yeah, that's my kind of night.
Luke Bryan. It goes live Saturday, July 23rd on campus at TCC with special guest
There was this girl,
Riley Green.
drink in her hand. Shoot me a let's get into trouble grin.
Tickets are on sale now at rocktheroosttcc.com. Luke Bryan, live, produced by Tallahassee Community College and Adams Entertainment.
Aneshka Ponte starting off the bottom of the 8th. Takes that first pitch for strike number 1. There's strike 2. Ponte 16 for 18 in stolen bases if she can get aboard, but got a 0-2 count here, and that one is high and away. Petty has stricken out 5 in a row. She struck out the side in the 7th, to give you an idea of kind of the way that she's going right now. Childs is on deck. She'll follow, and then Brooke Michael after that. And there is tap foul. Just got a piece of it. Ponte is 1 for 2 today. But here, she is the 6th straight strikeout for Julia Petty, and she is showing no signs of slowing down anytime soon. Swing and a miss there for strike 1. That one high and away. Always interesting to see how these extra innings go, because it feels like teams always kind of take a different approach. You've got one school of thought, which is, get a runner on in any way that you can, bunt them over, have them steal, whatever. And then there's the other side that you see, usually at higher levels of play, you see that in Major League Baseball a lot, where it's just teams get into extra innings and it turns into a home run derby. Teams trying to end the game with one swing at the bat and just try and get home runs. That one's fouled out of play. If it gets to a 9th, it'll be the 4, 5, 6 hitters for Northwest, including Ballard, who has a home run today. That one, comebacker right to the pitcher. She throws to first for out number 2. Brooke Michael in game 2, 0 for 3. 0 for 2 with a walk in game 1, so she's 0 for 5 on the day as a whole. Takes that first pitch for a strike. That one rolled along foul. 1 ball, 1 strike correction. Fouled it off again, and it's 1 and 2. That one is a chopper that is going to stay fair. Oh, wow. Look at that. For all we know, it could have been a pebble in the infield dirt that kept that softball fair, just barely fair. And by the time that the Raiders could pick up the ball, it was Brooke Michael already at first base. They're going to pinch run with her, as you would expect, Ashley Gonzalez. Gonzalez this year 0 for 1 in stolen base attempts. So an infield single for Brooke Michael, her first hit of the day, and now it'll be Brittany Michael, who is 1 for 3 in game 1, 0 for 3 in game 1. First pitch misses by just a hair. Brittany's got 1 home run on the year, 18 runs batted in, 11 walks, 7 strikeouts. That one is a strike. And that one is going to get down for a base hit. Runner thought about going to third, but stays at second, Ashley Gonzalez. But a beautiful piece of hitting there for Brittany Michael, her second straight single, and the second straight single of the inning as well. And so now you got the walk-off run at second base with 2 outs. And who else would you rather have at the plate right now than Raven Little? First base isn't open, so you can't intentionally walk her like they did in game 1. You got to pitch to her here. First one to her is swung on and missed. In game 2, Little is 1 for 2 with a home run, a walk as well. That curveball missing high evens the count at 1-1. That ever so important break-even pitch, wave and a miss for strike 2. You could tell she was upset with herself after chasing that one, and now she'll have no choice but to protect with 2 strikes. And a swing and a miss. That will end the 8th inning. Eagles got the potential winning run to second base with 2 outs, couldn't bring her to score. We are now heading to a 9th inning in a 2-2 game, as we hopefully are coming closer to the conclusion of today's doubleheader game. We are back. Brittany Michael is back on the circle as that one rattles off the railing atop the backstop. And that's an interesting question as well because, of course, you do have Sydney Ray available. At what point, as far as innings are concerned, can you push Brittany Michael today? She went 7 innings in Game 1. She is working deeper into Game 2. She came out in the 7th when you thought maybe she just would pitch an inning and hopefully you could end things in the 7th. Instead, she pitched the 8th as well and now tasked with pitching the 9th. So inning number 3 in Game 2. Macy Hardy today 0 for 2 with a walk. And she smacks that one foul. That one got almost all the way to the baseball field. And that one lifted up in the air. Child's taking a couple steps back, but she'll be able to make the catch for out number 1. That was Layla Thompson that flat out to center. Now it's Gracie Bellard, the left fielder, 1 for 3 with a home run. That one is over for a strike. Popped up. Raven Little chasing it. And it's actually J.J. Ortiz making the grab in foul territory. 3 Eagles conjoined over there chasing the ball, and Ortiz was able to come away with it. And there's out number 2. First pitch over but low for ball 1 to Briley Broussard. 1 for 3 in Game 2. Big swing and a miss there. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And a swing and a miss, or a foul tip off the bat. And so, 3 up, 3 down go the Raiders in the 9th. And the Eagles will get another chance to walk it off.
Community College presents Rock the Roost, starring Luke Bryan.
Yeah, that's my kind of night.
Luke Bryan. It goes live Saturday, July 23rd on campus at TCC with special guest
There was this girl,
Riley Green.
drink in her hand. Shoot me a let's get into trouble grand.
Tickets are on sale now at rocktheroosttcc.com. Luke Bryan, live, produced by Tallahassee Community College and Adams Entertainment.
Cheche Ortiz will get things started here in the bottom of the ninth. Big cut and a miss. Start things off against Julia Petty, as it is now officially the battle of the bullpens here in game 2. It'll be Ortiz, James, Campbell. They could pinch hit for Campbell, but I don't know necessarily that they would. 1 ball and 1 strike. Getting the leadoff hitter on would go a long way. Ortiz, 15 walks, 19 strikeouts. This season fouls that one quickly out of play, 1-2. Lights taking full effect down on the field now. It is now officially night on the west side of Tallahassee. Here's the 1-2 to Ortiz off the plate. That one rolled over the third baseman. Thompson goes to first for the out. So you put the ball in play there at the least, but can't get a runner on. Ortiz moves to 0-for-3 on the day, or in the game rather, and now it will be Kaylin James 0-for-2 with a sac bunt as well. And this hitter, more than anyone else, you look at and say, there's someone that can end the game with one swing at the bat. It would be Kaylin James. Takes that first pitch high. And the most drastic walk strikeout ratio on the team by far. I mean, she's a .313 hitter, so still very good. 4 walks, 30 strikeouts. This is a boom or bust type of at-bat that you look at. But she goes up in the count 2-0. Two-0 pitch. Big swing and a miss there. She knew she was going to get a pitch to hit. And another swing and a miss. 2-2 now. They're going to play it straight up with Ellie Campbell as she is on deck. The 2-2 popped up in the air. This one will stay in play, and the first baseman Hardy has it for out number 2. Ellie Campbell to the plate now and swings through that first pitch. And I do wonder if there will be a 10th inning. Obviously there will be. Well, not obviously. My point is, do they bring Sydney Ray out of the bullpen? There's a foul tip, and that got a piece of the catcher there, Fischetti. Assistant coach is going to come out and tend to her. Head coach Andy Lee coming out as well. While they tend to this injury, we will step aside. So Fichetti's going to stay in the game. And it'll be a 0-2 to Ellie Campbell. And a swing and a miss, strike 3. And we will be headed to a 10th inning. Bottom of the order coming up for Northwest State. Keep it right here on TCCEagles.com. Top of the 10th here. And it will be Destiny Gary. Bunt popped up in the air and it goes foul. So now that we are in the 10th, we have the extra inning runner, the runner at second base, into effect. It is Briley Broussard, the center fielder, probably the fastest player on the Northwest team. So just about any base hit would score her. Big wave and a miss there, and it's 0-2. Gary is 1 for 1 with a single and 2 walks. And she's out on strikes. They got her out for the first time in this game. It had a key time. They're going to pinch hit for Ashley Fogg, the DP. It is Emma Abbey. She comes over to talk to Andy Lee before the at-bat. Emma Alley is her name, and she's listed as number 9, but she's got 18 on tonight. 262 on the year. A 1 home run, 13 runs batted in. That first pitch missing. If you're curious, extra inning runner for the Eagles will be Ellie Campbell, and it'll be Patry, Aponte, and Childs due up. That first pitch, or the second pitch rather, high and away. Now it's 2-0. Strategy of this is interesting because first base is open. You know, still don't want giving a multiple runs is the doomsday scenario, of course. But would you rather put a runner on first or give the player at the plate something to hit? And that's something that they're going to have to decide here on 3-0. I think, especially at 3-0, you might as well put her on first because you know she's going to be swinging away right here. And takes it high, or takes it for a strike. You would think maybe with a runner at second that you would take that opportunity, but takes the strike all the way instead. And that one is high for ball 4, so she ends up getting down to first base anyway. And at the lineup, turning back over to Gabrielle Fischetti, who does stay in the game after, I think it was a foul ball that must have got a pretty good piece of her. And that one fouled back to the railing for strike 1. Shows bunt, pulls back, runner goes down to third. And she's safe. And so now they're really in a pinch. You know, with the kind of numbers she has stealing bases, you kind of imagined that they were going to try that. And they get 2 runners in scoring position now with only 1 out. So a stolen base for Emma Alley and a stolen base for Briley Broussard. A pitch on 0-2. Now it's fouled back. Another 0-2. And that one's fouled again. Another 0-2. And that one is going to put in a play. They get the out at first, but the run scores. So they call it a run batted in for Gabrielle Fischetti. Put out goes 3 unassisted. And it was Briley Broussard coming in home. In the process, Emma Alley gets over to third base, but with 2 outs. And now Northwest has a 3-2 advantage. That one tapped right in front of the plate. Brittany Michael goes to first, and she lost it, and another run comes to score. And we talked about it when you walked to put the runner on first base. That was the doomsday scenarios. You know, they both come to score, and that's what's happened here. So I'll end up putting that down in my book as an E3. And on it, and Alley comes to score. That one fouled back to the screen. It's now Julia Petty the pitcher at the plate, and they're going to leave her in, obviously, to try and finish this one out in the bottom half of the 10th. Big cut and a miss there for strike 2. Runner goes, throw down to second, and they got her. And so that will end the inning as Sydney Stewart is caught stealing. But in the 10th inning with extra inning runners involved, Northwest puts 2 on the board, and they now go to the bottom of the 10th looking for 3 final outs to close out this game. Make sure to stay with us and catch the conclusion of this game.
Community College presents Rock the Roost, starring Luke Bryan.
Yeah, that's my kind of night.
Luke Bryan. It goes live Saturday, July 23rd on campus at TCC with special guest
There was this girl,
Riley Green.
drink in her hand. Shoot me and let's get into trouble, grand.
Tickets are on sale now at rocktheroosttcc.com. Luke Bryan, live, produced by Tallahassee Community College and Adams Entertainment.
So here we are in the bottom of the 10th. It's Emma Patra at the plate. She showed bunt but pulled back. It is Ellie Campbell, the runner at second base, as she was the final out for the Eagles in the 9th. And that one is fouled out of play, 1-1. Strike called, and it's 1-2. Protecting on 1-2 and fouls it out of play. And that one, the diving grab of the third baseman, Thompson. Ellie Campbell gets back to second just in time, and that could have been a nightmare. But she's robbed, I think, like at least 3 hits over there today. Line out to third for Patry for the first out, and now Aneshka Ponte comes to the plate. That one put on the ground. Runner held for a second. Now she's going to go down to third, and Aponte is safe. And the Eagle dugout erupts. That was big there. That call was the difference between, you know, down to your final out and keeping this thing moving, and you get the tying run aboard as well. Wouldn't surprise me if they send Aponte at some point. You know, obviously with 1 out, you want to feel like you'd rather keep the double play out. She's 16 for 18 this year in stolen bases. I think I mentioned that. She was caught stealing, actually, in this game, though, so call it 16 for 19. After the infield hit, it will be Mackenzie Childs. First pitch to her is fouled back. And strike two called. Childs still looking for her first home run of the season. She's got 8 runs batted in on the year. And that one put on the ground. And Hood can't get a handle on it. And now it's a 1-run game in E6 as Cassidy Hood lost the handle on that ball. It was Aponte in safely at second. Brooke Michael in this game is 1 for 4. Had a single in the 8th. Eagles got 2 hits in that inning, but couldn't do anything with it with 2 outs. And potentially a hit here would tie the game. Keep in mind that a double play still would end the game. And that one goes to Stewart. They go to short for 1. And that is the game-ending double play right there. The Northwest Florida dugout erupts. They spill out onto the field. So it was a walk-off win for the Eagles in Game 1, and they came close. They had the winning run on base, but could not bring them across to score. One of those games where in extra innings both teams had chances here and there, and as one of the umpires, I think, is hurt pulling up to home plate. But either way, they split the doubleheader. Northwest Florida wins Game 2 by a score of 4-3. The scoreboard has it Northwest Florida 4 runs on 7 hits and 1 error, and then for TCC 3 runs on 5 hits, and I have 1 error, or actually 2 errors for them as well. So the pitching decision, it was tough because Kaylin James left in the tie game, and she pitched 6 innings, 2 runs on 3 hits, and then they go to Brittany Michael, who pitched 7 innings in Game 1. They make her, I guess, into a corner. They ask her to pitch 4 innings in Game 2, and that's a tough thing certainly to ask of anybody. And I thought, she did well. She ended up giving a couple of unearned runs with the extra inning runner and a runner that scored on an error with 2 outs. So you do catch a tough break there because you get the out. Maybe they walk it off. So that was a play that certainly you look back to as well. And then on the Raiders side of things, it was Alex Wadsworth. She didn't pitch that great. 4+, 2 runs on 2 hits. She also walked 3, and it's one of those rare instances where the reliever goes deeper than the starter, and Julia Petty gives them 6 innings scoreless, and she gets the victory there. So, a great performance for her. And, that's how it shakes out. Eagles are now 4-10 in conference play, 22-16 on the year. Northwest, after the doubleheader split, they're now 36-9, and they're 8-4 in Panhandle plays. They're trying to catch Chipola for first place in the conference by season's end. As you look ahead to the schedule, we did get an update on a Pensacola State doubleheader that was postponed. That's going to be played April 25th. And then outside of that, not much else you've got. You go to Gulf Coast State on April 20th, and then you've got a home doubleheader on Saturday the 23rd. That's sophomore night, and that will close out the season, and that April the 23rd will be our next broadcast for softball and our final of 2022. So again, they split the doubleheader. Great games in both. Eagles walk it off 2-1 in Game 1. They lose in extra innings in 10, 4-3 in Game 2. I have been William Haynes, our broadcast engineer Noah Hapner, and this has been a presentation of TCC Softball.